Everything you see here is strictly informational. Forex is a high-risk business. Please do not place trades with more money than what you don't have. Please do not trade other people's money. Do not borrow any money than what you cannot trade with. And please take everything that I say as a personal opinion. I am not considered a financial advisor. I'm not considered a broker. I am just one here simply recording my journey along learning the markets.
Hey, how's it going? What a week it has been. What a day it has been, that's for sure. My name is Ted. What I do is I do this thing called Bodies and Wicks. Basically, it's me analyzing charts, whether it be Forex or crypto or indices or something like that you help you with your trading. I'm not a financial advisor, of course, so don't think I'm just gonna like make you millions of dollars. I'm just here to share my experience with you about my trading, and hopefully it'll help you. If you catch me looking down at my phone I'm gonna have my phone like right here. If you catch me looking at my phone every once in a while, it is because I am in some trades right now. And I am blue into, red into, and hoping, wanting to keep going up. So I just gotta keep. Oh, also, I do have a trade that is on my TV. So here I'm gonna turn this around really slowly. Hopefully nothing comes get disconnected. All right, so that's my TV. That's a trade that I am in. That I'm watching as I am doing this. So hopefully I'm not too distracted. But that is my Ethereum trade. So right now I'm about 60 pips up, and hopefully I can keep going up. But right now we're going to talk about the S&P. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay. What happened with the S&P? What's going on with it? Are we done with the pullback? I don't really know, but let's just go ahead and jump to the chart and let's take a look. All right. So here is the S&P here, or the 4-hour chart. So as you can see, I have the the typical wave that we were riding up for all quite some time. And when you see this thing, it's this same broadening ascension line. What that is that if we zoom out of this, right, this same ascension line goes from the top of here, from when right before the drop, and then had this made for somebody, so don't worry about that. And then it goes all the way back to here, which was 128.18 of 128 of 18. So that same line, it touched the top of here, and it also touched the top of right where we're at or where we were at, where it fell. So that is one of the reasons why I think it fell, is that we got above that line. So let me keep. And I wish there was a better way. I have a MacBook Pro, so all I can do is just slide my fingers across this thing. I wish I had like a controller or like some kind of scrolling thing. I probably could get one, but I just don't have one. So what happened here, right, is that we were following this channel, and that's what this blue line is, right? We were following this channel for quite a few weeks actually, and if I want to pull this up like this, right? I remember this. We kind of had this little pullback here. Once we had this pullback, then we continued up, and then we followed this channel right here. And if you actually connect this and the bottom of this, this one big red candle, right? This is the pullback of this this whole wave, right? So you had this whole wave, and you had this whole pullback. And actually, what that pullback was actually the news of Joe Biden saying that Kamala Harris was his vice president pick. And see, that was at noon. So, and it was on August 8th. You can look it up. That's exactly when Joe Biden said that Kamala Harris was going to be his running mate, and that's when the market kind of fell. So it fell. It stayed actually within the channel though, but then it started drifting over this way. So we started getting toward the top, right, um, the of the entire schematic itself. So the most previous high before that, I want to say was 30. What was it? Here, let's just draw a line here across it. No, I've done this like so many times. 3398.4. So that was the high, right? So we started getting close to that. Sorry guys. And then so we started getting close to that, and that's what was causing all this, because there was so much pressure of the sell happening, or all the resistance happening because of that line, right? So we came up to this line, we touched it, right? Fell down, we came back up to it, we touched it again, we fell, and then we finally crossed the line. I think this was a completely different week, right? So we went from 821 to 823.24. So the very next week we crossed that line, within the first couple hours, and then we just continued up, right? We just continued up, and we followed this, and then here comes in that same broadening line that I was talking about. They hit from way back in 2016. They hit the top of that channel as well. So not only were we following this channel, we also, hit the top of this. And I think there was a couple of weeks ago, I said, watch this 35.30 level. This is what I thought it was, 35.30 level. Yeah. I said, watch this 35.30 level. I said, I think it's going to be the level to watch. And it was. So it came up to, what was it, 35.25, something like that. It fell back down, and then once it came back up, right here it was 35.30, 35.32, something like that, is where it actually connected with this this broadening ascension line, right? It took a minute, but it did get over it, right? It got over that broadening ascension line, and then it got over the channel line that it had switched from. So back here, it was riding on this side of the channel line. It switched over to this side of the channel line, right? And then I mean, this is the same channel line. It did not move. I haven't moved it at all. The same channel line, bounced off of it. Now it's above the ascension line. Now it's above the channel line, and there it is. So now you're way above both. If you actually take a look at the RSI, you are way oversold, right? I have a 19 and a 26, or sorry, a 16 and a 29 RSI. On both of them, you are oversold. And also, if we want to take a look at the MACD, I'll probably bring this down a little bit to take a look at the MACD. Well, maybe I'll have to pull them both up. I don't. Why is the MACD not wanting to come up? There you go. So here's the MACD. As you can see, the MACD is just all over here. And here it's pretty much at the farthest point as it can be at the top. So something's got to give, right? And even though it's only showing a little bit of momentum here, the lines, the MACD line and the signal line both are telling you, hey, we're pretty far off. Something could change really soon. So all of a sudden they crossed to the sell. It crossed the sell position. Once it crossed the sell position, it was also oversold, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just started falling. And next thing you know, so now what I have is what these lines are. These lines represent each New York session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive in further now. We're going to go into 15 minutes. So that was the 4 hour, and you could just see it fall. Well, actually, let's go back because I want to take a look at something. So if we go back to the 4 hour, right, and we see the fall, and we see where it hits and where it pulls back from, that'll kind of give us some clues as to what is going on here. So, first, one of the places that it hits and has a resistance line is right here, right? So if we draw this horizontal line, you can see there was a resistance line there. It wasn't a huge resistance line. Um, I'm not really sure what it was that it caught there. It may have been a fib level as well. I haven't drawn my fibs out to see. But I guess we could do that really quick. Just because we're doing it, not that one. Fib retracement. Here we go. And not that. Let's go and do fib retracement and turn on the magnet. It would actually be probably above, so it would be here. And pull this down. Is that the highest, or was that the highest? That was the highest. All right. So now we have the fib level here. It looks like it was about at the 71, somewhere between the 71, 78. If we look at, maybe I'm not on top of it, because I was thinking this would probably be it. Yeah, about the same, 71, 78. Or if we look at it on the underside to where it was the low, then it was about the 618. So it looks like about the 618 was the level that it kind of stopped, and it pulled back to the 50, right? And then it dropped again, and this time it dropped all the way down here, right? So this is the level it dropped to, and it dropped to, oops, didn't mean to move that. It dropped to right here, right? So this is the level that it dropped to. That was the first time that it hit the record high, right? It hit the record high, and then it dropped, and then from the bounce back from the record high, that is the second drop that it came it came to. So it came down to that drop, right? So then it backed up again, right? And then we did another pullback, and then we did another drop, right? And this is happening throughout, London session, not London session. So, some of these drops actually were during, not during the London session. It was during the, the English session, or the UK session, the Asian session, things like that. So the next time it dropped all the way down here, which I have this orange line. And where did that go? That went all the way down to here. So not exactly for sure understand where exactly that line comes into play, but that definitely was some kind of resistance line. I was surprised it did not stop, somewhere around here, which I do want to kind of put a line there and see if there was any kind of stoppage there. It looks like it kind of did first, right? It stopped there first. It looks like it pulled back, and then it came down all the way down here. But then it did pull back, and then it stayed above that line. So even though it did hit that one kind of odd, what am I calling it, the support line, it did pull back up, and now this became the new support. Of that area, of that low. I want to call it the Kamala Harris low. That's what I'm going to call it, the Kamala Harris low, because that's the the candle that went down whenever Kamala Harris was announced the VP. So That became the support. Um, we saw some life in it. It did start to move back up. And then, of course, we didn't see any life in it during the New York session, and it came back down, right? And then after the New York session was over, we saw some life in it. And then once the New York session came back in, boom, we see it come back down. So I don't know what it is with the New York session, but we definitely did not like, definitely did not like what was going on. So if we want to zoom in on this a little bit closer, let's hit auto. Wish when it hit auto, it would just show me the whole thing. So I know there is a lot of lines in here and a lot of things to dissect. So this is on the 3rd. This was the 4th. This is the 7th. So let's see here, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and that's it, right? Because yesterday was the 12th. Yesterday it wasn't even open. And Monday was a holiday, so it was only open for like 4 hours or something like that. So that's why on the 7th you only see it open for like, a couple hours. It stopped at, because you can see it goes from 11, and then it goes to 11:45, and then it goes to 17:30. So it stopped for like 6 hours, basically on Monday for Labor Day. So now, as you can see, during Labor Day there wasn't much going on, but during this whole time of this drop, because it did start to happen last Thursday, right? So last Thursday was the first time that we did see the drop, and then it became kind of neutral, right? And then on Friday is when we seen the huge drop. So last weekend we were wondering if the drop was over. I was thinking the drop was over. I was like, okay, because the 200 MA of the 4 hour, was coming in, and it hit right here. And once it hit right here and it bounced back off of it, I was thinking, okay, it's over. It bounced off the 200 MA. We're good. And then that's not what happened. I thought we're gonna see an uptick, or we're gonna at least maybe see some sideways motion, and that was it. No, now we see, of course, the New York session on Labor Day. Nothing happened. And then on Tuesday, again, we see it kind of struggle, and then it fell kind of toward the very end. Luckily, out of that session is it kind of pulled us back out. And then Wednesday session, it was kind of sideways. It actually gave us some hope. It went back up. And then Thursday session, again, it didn't give us any hope. It dropped. And then Friday session was kind of all over the place. It started off good, and then it went down the rest of the day, and then at the very end it came back up. So what is that signaling? I don't know. I think if we're looking at this and we're seeing, the very end of this, we're seeing the very end of the New York session and how it played out, right? It started down, and usually when it starts down like this, it's going to go the opposite way. Because what happens is that the bankers put in all their money and they try to sell as much as they can so that way they can get a better position. That way they can buy, right? So, that's what I thought was going to happen. It looks like they did buy, and then again, maybe they did that just so they could get a better position, so then they could sell. Because I'm not exactly 100% sure, because I do have holdings in Apple, and some other things, and I was watching those all day to see what was going on, and the different sectors, and everything was just kind of all over the place. There was not one thing that was holding any ground, right? So what is going to happen this week? I think we are going to see some hope. I really do. I think this week once I look at this here, and let's just go ahead and take everything off of here, right? just go ahead and take everything off of here, and let's look at this from a naked eye, and let's do it from a, well, I was going to do it from a 1 hour perspective. Let's do it from a 1 hour perspective, and let's look at this little, little, not really little, but let's look at this drop, right? So if this is a pullback, right, you usually have an ABC, right? So let's see here. Where is your ABC correction? So here is your 0, right? Maybe this is your A. Maybe this is your B. Maybe this is your C. Now, that's kind of, you know, to the naked eye, it doesn't make any sense, because you're thinking, why isn't this A, and why isn't this B, and why isn't, this C? This could be, what is it, a double wave. So it could be, an ABC, and then another 0 ABC, and then another 0 ABC is what it could be. So this could be quite a few different things. Let's just go ahead and do. Yeah, let me move this one off of here. And oops, didn't mean to do that. And let's see what we can come up with, because let's all try this together. See, that only gets, or oops, didn't mean to do that. Move that here. See, that's all we have is a 4-wave combo. Not much going on there. And then maybe we have a triple wave combo. Maybe this was one wave, right? This was the wave up. This was the wave down. And I think this was the wave up, right? And then now we have this. This is the wave down. I think maybe that is what we're seeing right there. Honestly, I do think that's what we're seeing. So we have this 0, W, X, Y, X, and Z. I think this is definitely the combination that we're seeing. So I do think that since this is completed, this may be the end of the pullback. And now that we're done with the pullback, we're going to see the impulse. I didn't mean to do that. What I actually meant to do was something like this. Now we're going to see the impulse, right? We should see the impulse now. What is actually holding it back a lot is the tech sector. And tech sector is, the XLK. NASDAQ has actually been kind of holding it back. For some reason, I don't know why. The one thing that's been leading has been the one holding it back. My kind of theory on this is that since, Tesla and Apple both split, right, and they split, and now what happened is that the people that had those shares probably sold almost all of them, just to make the price a lot lower, and then so they could buy them all back up at a lower price, and buy more of them at a lower price. If you're a savvy investor and you know that you have that kind of an impact by selling all your shares and then buying them back plus more, that's probably what happened. But Apple fluctuated in between, anywhere between 135. It started off around 120, 125, I want to say. It got up to about 135, I want to say, was the highest. And right now it's down to about 114. So, if you can make, if you think about that, that's, a good $20, $30 fluctuation just in between, a price of one stock that is in these indices. So those kind of things could, kind of really, really affect it. There's also been stocks that, helped out a lot. But there was some stocks that just, didn't perform at all. So, we will have to see how this goes. I do think that the pullback is complete. I really do. I honestly do. I think the pullback is complete, and I think now we're just gonna see this. I think we'll have to see how it's gonna happen here in just a couple hours. It is 2:54 on Sunday, and the market opens at 4 o'clock on Central Time, so that is about an hour away. We'll have to see how it opens. I personally believe that we're gonna see a gap up. I think we're going to see a gap up, because let's see what we have here. Let's see what we got. Gold market is higher as concern weight on sentiment. U.S. government bonds edge higher on Friday. Investors weighed better than expected in corporate earnings and increase in activity. So here's our mess. Brexit. Okay, blah blah blah. Most of the risk faced by markets over the rest of the year are political. Great. So around U.S. election, the U.K. government's exit, and EU and U.S. China's tensions. So interesting. So people are basically either pulling out their stocks or moving them into a different kind of holding until maybe the election is over is what I'm seeing, because of what the tensions that are happening because of China, things like that. It looks like European indexes were bolstered after telecom, cable group, Altica, TCB says found an offer to take company of private sending its shares up more than 24%. Wall Street Dow Jones average rose 131.6. So Dow Jones also added 2 or 3 new companies to the list, and they took off 3. So there was a change in Dow this week, and it actually was a change for the good, because they made those changes to that index. I forget exactly which companies it was, but it was definitely more, kind of an inclusive economy company. And the 3 that they took out were just kind of a bland, known companies. All right, but as you can see, that's what's going on. So it looks like there is a just kind of a questionable, hey, what's going on with the market? And I think we're going to see that a lot into September, until October, until November, when we see the election. There is going to be a lot of uncertainty, but I don't think we're going to see the market get much lower than what we have. I think we have completed a pullback, because we've done a pullback pretty low. And honestly, if you remember my video from a long time ago, I think I said that this would be the pullback that we would see whenever this was going up. I said I think we're going to see a pullback of about 230 pips, and I said somewhere around 3290, 3280 would be the area that we will pull back to, and because if I go back, if I didn't delete all of the drawings, if I see if I can get them back. It might take a minute. There we go. Okay, so now I got all the drawings back. So that video that I had a long time ago, not a long time ago, but whenever I saw this, and I saw I thought we would see basically something similar. So I thought once we got to this point, is that we would see it drop, right? And I thought we would see it drop down to this 3280, 3290 level, just because it was the top of here, right? So I thought this would be the level that it would test before it moved forward. So that 3290, whatever this is, let me see here. Let me see if I can't get a good reading on this right now. If I just do a horizontal line. So if I just do a horizontal line, 3290. Yep. So honestly, I thought whenever this was going up, I thought whenever this would hit the top, I thought we would see a full pullback, and there is a full video on that. You know, I said the SPX would pull back to about 3290. That's what I thought was going to happen right here, and then I thought we were going to move forward. Instead, we just kind of sidestepped, and then we moved forward. But the funny thing is that we did end up coming back, and we did end up hitting that 3290-ish area. It didn't hit 3290 exactly. I don't think it did. Maybe it did. Oh, let me see here. Let me see if I can't. 3296. I think that's the closest that we got. Yep, 3296. I think it was the closest that we got. But still, we did get close to that area that I thought that we would eventually pull back to. So it didn't happen at the time that I thought it would. But strangely enough, it did happen. We did end up pulling back to that 3290-ish area. And maybe we will pull back and touch that area a little bit further. Hopefully not. But we'll have to wait and see how the market's going to open here in just about an hour and see what's going on. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me. And thanks a lot for watching. It's always a lot of fun doing these kind of things and talking about the market with you guys, and I hope you enjoy it too. So if you do enjoy what I do, and you do hear me ramble and talk and about nonsense, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's somewhere down there. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere down there. You can just click it. You can hit the notification bell. You can like it, you can share it, you can tell your friends about it. You can contact me. I have my contact information in the description of the video. You can contact me on Telegram. I have a Twitter for Bodies and Wicks that I'm always, throwing out trade ideas and things like that. Also, my trading view is connected to my Twitter. So anytime I put out an idea, my Twitter throws it out there. So you can always be connected to Bodies and Wicks no matter what. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a good Sunday and a good trading week. Good luck, guys.